Hello students, welcome back. Let us resume our discussion on variation. Previously, we talked about the idea of direct variation and that of inverse variation. The direct variation, straight up multiplication, y equals kx, where x and y are variables that change, and k is a constant that doesn't change. For inverse variation, it's not a multiplication, it's a division instead. Y equals k times 1 over x, or k divided by x. Again, x and y are variables that change, and k is a constant that doesn't change. This constant is called the variation constant or proportional constant. And then we went through a couple of example problems. Example problem 1, the monthly mortgage payment M varies directly with the borrowed amount of money B. So it's a direct variation problem. So how do we handle it? If one variable is doubled, tripled, quadrupled, tenfolded, and the same goes with the other variable, double, triple, quadruple, tenfolded. In this particular case, $1,000 became 120-folded, so $120,000. So this monthly payment, $665, must be also 120-folded. And there goes the solution. Simple and elegant, and it gives you a good understanding what it means by a direct variation. How about the next example? This one is an inverse variation example. Maximum weight W varies inversely with the length of the plank. And L is double, triple, quadrupled, tenfolded, and so on. Then W has to be halved, 1/3, 1/4, or 1/10, like those. It's inverse. Multiplication becomes division. In this case, a 10-foot long plank, now 25 feet. So we have basically 2.5-folded multiplication. So how do we handle the weight? We divide by 2.5, and that's how the computation goes. Again, simple and elegant, and this gives you a really good understanding what it means by an inverse variation. However, both of these methods are impractical in a sense that they work only for simple types of problems like these, and these problems are not college-worthy. College-worthy problems must look like this, and you cannot use that kind of simple idea into problems this complicated. You need something better, and let's talk about those better tools. Let's go to the standard method for example 4.2, the mortgage example again. And this time, let's slow down and break all these steps into a 4-step process. Step 1 is the variation equation. So variation equation looks like this, but we need different characters. So instead of x and y, we have capital B and small m. So m is k times capital B. And that's the proportional equation or variation equation you're looking for. Okay, we have a correct equation, but this equation is not useful because we don't know what k value is. So step 2 is to find k value. Instead of considering this double, triple, those kind of things, just focus upon the equation. And then let's find that k value by plugging in all these numbers. Okay, $665, that's a monthly payment, isn't it? $1,000 is borrowed money. So we have this version, and from here you can find what k is. It's easy. K is 665 over 1,000. And this is a simple computation. Denominator is 1,000, so all I have to do is shift the decimal digit There you go. That's your k value. Now remember, why did you find out this k value? Because this proportional equation is correct equation, yes, but it's not usable because I don't know what this is. That's why I did this computation and found that k. Plug in this in, now this equation will be completed. We're going to get something that can be used. Now this equation here, with this k value now highlighted in green, this second equation here is a version of this one, except that this is practical, this can be used. This one is complete, this one is incomplete because I don't know what k is. I know what k is, so this one can be used. Let's use it. So we have to find out monthly payment M when B is 120,000. So let's find it. 0.00665 times 120,000. And run your calculator. Punch into calculator. What do you get? 798. Same answer as before. Looking closely, this is a 4-step process. Step 1, the variation equation. We have an equation, but this equation cannot be used yet because I don't know what this is. So let's find k. Plug in the numbers and find k. Okay, now that I found k, I can go back and plug it in, and that'll complete this variation equation. That's step 3. Now that we have completed the equation that can be used, plug in a b value and get the final answer. That's step 4. This second method, the 4-step method, is of course far more complicated than the first method, the 1-step method. However, the second method, the standard solution, can be extended over to much more complicated setting like these kind of problems. That's why we are studying the second method. Okay, here's another problem. This time inverse variation. So where do we begin? Step 1 is variation equation, and variation equation looks like this. Inverse problem. So here we go. W is k times 1 over L. Same as this, except we have different characters. Instead of x and y, we have L and W. Okay, this is a correct proportional equation, but it cannot be used yet because we don't know what k value is. So let's plug in numbers and find k. So what do we have? When L is 10 feet, the maximum support is 500 pounds. So 500 is equal to k times 1 over 10. Therefore, k is 5,000. Simple problem. So simple that I didn't need a calculator. 10 times 500. Okay, 5,000. All right. Let's plug it in right here. If I do that, then I'm going to get a complete equation that can be used. So W here, W is 5,000 times 1 over L. Now this equation here is a complete equation that can be used, so let's use it. The length here is 25 feet. Okay, let's put it in. All you have to do is this computation. Punch into calculator. Let me copy and paste and then use Mathematical's computation. And what do we have? We have 200. Same answer as before. Again, please recall this is the 4-step process. Step 1, variation equation. Step 2, plug in the numbers and find k. Step 3, plug in the k value into the variation equation and get the complete equation. the workable equation. Now this is workable, let's work it out. Plug in the numbers and get the final answer. All those are explained again step by step here in this answer key. Please remember this method, the 4-step method, and do some practice. And after sufficient practice, we can go over to far more complicated problems like these.